Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 weekly reset video. My name is Story and today is the 27th of October, which means we're running up until the 3rd of November because that's how things go around here. We're still in the midst of Festival of the Lost. It's the last week of Festival of the Lost at this present moment. So let's get into it then. What have we got to do in Destiny 2 this week? Well, if you're new to the game, welcome. Come on in, pour yourself a piping hot brew, and sit down on one of the very many lovely pew. Now, this is the tower map. We have a look at this map because it has all these lovely little icons on it which represent vendors. Now, vendors in the Destiny universe happen to be some of your very best friends because they administer weekly challenges, bounties, quests, and all kinds of stuff. So it's worth frequenting yourself with as many vendors in the game as possible. And they're not just restricted to the tower map, they're all over the place on various planets. For example, if we have a look at our own gunsmith, who loves to smith or the gun, he has his spare parts vendor challenge, which is a weekly challenge, and that is to complete 8 of his bounties. In return, you will get some powerful gear at tier 1. Gear comes in a variety of different tiers: 1, 2, 3, and Pinnacle. Pinnacle having to be the beefiest of the beefiest stuff available. So that's the stuff to go for if you want beef. If you're vegetarian, don't worry about it. It's plant-based beef, so you still want the beef. Anyway, let's continue to other things. We've got various other vendors, of course. Same weekly challenge, 8 bounties off for tier 1. And then we've got, if you're a part of a clan, for example, earn 5,000 XP and you'll get some tier 2 stuff from Sarai Hawthorne, which is very nice indeed. Over in the annex, we've got the Means to an End questline. If you follow this, that'll lead to some Pinnacle loot as well. And the Prophecy Dungeon will also lead to some Pinnacle gear. So there you go. A brief little introduction for our beginners there. Now, this is the destinations. These are all the planets. Lots of vendors there for you to go and shake hands with and stuff. But now, here are the playlists. We're going to start off by diving into the Vanguard playlist. We've got daily heroic story missions. This is your chance to replay various campaign missions from all the various campaigns, basically. Then we've got our meat and veg beginning here. Vanguard Strikes. The weekly challenge is to complete strikes using the same subclass element as the currently active elemental burn. 3 strikes completed with those attributes applied and you'll get Pinnacle loot. So, you're in the beef, the plant-based beef. What is the weekly burn? Well, it is Arc Singe this week, so equip your Arc subclass and get in there and fry all those enemies. Now we've got the Ordeal Nightfall. This is the big bad daddy-o. This week it happens to be, drumroll please, Lake of Shadows. Can you believe it? So there you go. The 2 weekly challenges associated with the Ordeal is to run the Nightfall a bunch of times, i.e. 3, and you'll get powerful gear at tier 1, but the Pinnacle loot is awarded after you get a weekly challenge done of a team score above 100,000 points. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Ordeal this week, and it is Lake of Shadows. Then we've got the Vanilla Nightfall playlist sitting in the corner here. 3 Nightfall strikes available. This week we've got Exodus Crash, the Arms Dealer, and Scarlet Keep. 2 of these strikes have some specific strike loot that you can only get by playing these strikes within this playlist and grinding said strike over and over and over until it increases your chances of getting a drop. Exodus Crash will house the Impact Velocity Exotic Sparrow, and the Arms Dealer will also have another Exotic Sparrow, the Tilt Fuse. Nice. So there you go. There's your Vanguard playlist this week. Have fun with that. Moving on, Gambit. We've got a PvE activity, the Reckoning. It comes in a variety of different flavors here, all the same power requirements. And we've got a weekly burn, which is also Arc Singe. So get in there and get that Season of the Drifter gear, because this is going to be vaulted, this content, very soon, this Reckoning business. So get in there. Then we've got our Gambit playlist. We've got Gambit and Gambit Prime, 2 different types of the same kind of genre of game mode, should we call it. But anyway, 3 games completed in either or of these playlists will get you some Pinnacle loot. Nice. What else is there? Crucible, the PvP department. Excuse me, a little Freudian slip of the English. Anyway, we've got two types of playlist in our PvP arena. We've got rotator matches, which this week we've got Clash and Showdown. So 4 games completed in the Rotator playlist will get you some powerful gear at Tier 1. Then in the Core playlist, which consists of Rumble, Control, Elimination, Survival, Freelance Survival, and Classic Mix, you can get some Pinnacle loot by completing 4 games of that kind of stuff. And if you want to 1v1 your Nan, you can take her into a private match and challenge her to a primary duel if she's that way inclined. Anyway, what else is there to do in Destiny 2 this week? Well, we've got the Flashpoint is on the European Dead Zone, which is here. What's a Flashpoint? Well, see these. These are public events. Participate in these public events and do so until lovely Devrim's bar goes all the way up to 100%, and you'll get some powerful gear at Tier 1. Lost sectors also will give you 5% for downing the big bad boss and also looting the chest, so you get 10% for a lost sector as well. But most of the time, setting off these public events in heroic formats will get you the most progress. There you go. So the Flashpoint is on the EDZ this week. What else is there to play in Destiny 2 this week? Well, I'd like to have a look at the moon, because the moon is ram-packed full of activities. Look. Now, we've got 2 vendors down here. We've got our own Eris Morn, who has a weekly challenge, Luna's Calling, memory quest completed for powerful gear at Tier 1. Then over at the Lectern of Enchantments, you can take down 30 nightmares over here in the Altars of Sorrow, and that will get you some powerful gear at Tier 1 as well. Nightmare hunts, 3 of to choose from. You can run a Nightmare Hunt 3 times and get powerful gear at Tier 1, or if you complete a Nightmare Hunt on Master difficulty, then you get Pinnacle loot. Isn't that great? Speaking of Pinnacle loot, you got the Pit of Heresy Dungeon, which is still delivering your Pinnacle loot direct to your postbox, which is fantastic. And then, of course, this, as I mentioned, the Altars of Sorrow public event. It's very good. We've got altars spawning, lots of enemies to kill, lots of nightmares to banish, and the final boss, 1 of 3, which revolves on a daily basis, if I'm correct on that. And 1 boss will get you a kinetic slug shotgun, another boss will drop a sniper rifle, and another boss will drop a rocket launcher, and they should revolve each day. There you go. There's also a story mission here from the Shadowkeep campaign that will get you powerful gear at Tier 1. And not forgetting the Garden of Salivation raid for Pinnacle loot as well. You know you love it. It's great. It's really good stuff. But anyway, moving on. For the newcomers to the game, again, we're encouraging warm, welcoming behavior and wanting you to come in and have that brew. Let's explain the bounties systems, because it can be a little bit confusing at first, but look at the gunsmith. He's a good example. We've got 2 weekly bounties, 4 daily bounties, and additional bounties which you can keep going back to. So the weekly bounties, they refresh on the weekly reset. The daily bounties on the daily reset, it's quite obvious. And then additional bounties, they don't need a refresh. You can just keep pumping your glimmer into those and taking them away. So the weekly bounties from the gunsmith award XP glimmer, upgrade modules, and the first one awards some planetary resources. But the key words here are upgrade module. This will enable you to upgrade your gear, and you get another one for completing that other weekly there. The daily bounties will award XP mod components and enhancement cores, both of which are quite crucial materials. Mod components you can spend on his daily mods. These 2 types of mod, they refresh on a daily basis. We've got armor mods and weapon mods this week. Today we've got rocket launcher, scavenger, and backup mag. If you've got those, or if you're not interested, just wait 24 hours for tomorrow's daily reset and they will change. Okay, so enhancement cores will also enable you to upgrade and put more stuff into your equipment, enabling more mods to be equipped and whatnot. And we've got some resources here that you can swap for more resources. Isn't that great? Do you love it? Well, and finally, we're going to explain some other bounties. Now, the Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard vendors have a slight different twist to the bounties here. We have our weekly bounties, and not only do we get our XP glimmer, we've got Crucible tokens, which you can spend here, and then Valor rank points, which will help you rank up and get various bits and bobs from your Valor rank. We have Bright Dust available. It's 200 Bright Dust, I think, or 100. It's either 100 or 200 a piece. So you can get like 200 from these weekly bounties. And then the additional bounties from Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard will also get Bright Dust at 10 Bright Dust a piece. Now, the reason I'm drawing your attention to these is because you can keep going back, grinding these bounties to gather bright dust, and then spend them here in the Eververse store, as opposed to spending your hard-earned peanut on the silver currency, which you would buy with your real money, in case peanut is confusing. So there you go. You can grind bright dust from various bounties and come and spend it here. So this is the featured page. We've got weekly offerings. We've got the Boo emote. I had to purchase this. I did. I suck at it and I bought it for Halloween because there's my Halloween costume. We've got the 9 Lives exotic shell. It even makes a little kitty noise as well when you pull it out. The Desmodus ship, like there it is. We've got the by candlelight. So you can search in every dark crevice imaginable in the caves in the Dreaming City. We've got a howling projection that goes above your ghost like that. Look, very nice. And then this little tab down here refreshes each day. And this may contain things that you don't have from previous seasons. If you've seen someone somewhere wearing something that you kind of liked and you couldn't get hold of it, it might come here. So it's worth having a little butchers at this section every so often. We've also got a small weekly featured bright dust section down here, which will involve some consumables. The spell abolition emote there. And then there's some Stonecraft's amalgam shell. Looks a bit like that with electric on it. And then there's a fang projection. Look at the teeth. And then there is a Skelligall. This is a good shader. You should get it if you haven't got it. It's very good. Anyway, they've got the event because it's Festival of the Lost. Still, you can buy the Eververse themed armor, which is pretty cool. You can either buy it for money or trade in 6,000 of your bright dust. There's also some armors from previous events there as well. There's loads of stuff to look at. Peruse at your leisure. There's loads of stuff. Items may become unavailable for purchase after the event, which is very true, and they may not return until another event of a similar kind. So you may not see this stuff until next October, November 2021. Then there's the seasonal stuff. That appears here. Lots of stuff to go through. Again, items may become unavailable for purchase after the season ends, which is in a couple of weeks. If it's still available, it'll end up here in the archive. But warning, not everything appears in the archive. So if there's something that you want, pick it up. Otherwise, it could be a long wait until the next time. Wishes of sorrow looking at you. This disappeared for the best part of a year. And I know many of my friends were very unhappy and upset with themselves for not picking it up. But anyway, as we were all leading up to the crescendo bright dust, this is the specific bright dust section, and this is where you can find all the things. We've got the ghastly Durants, Jacob Marley. We could even use that at Christmas, couldn't you? With the old Christmas Carol. There's the summoning ritual emote there. There is a spider mask, which is now on sale. So there you go. That's pretty cool. The ginseng relic shell. I really like this, but I can't afford it. I don't have enough bright dust for that. The Necro Beast, Exotic Sparrow, the 3-trait ship. That's a really strange one. There's a Hyvo Lantern ship, ghost projection rather. And then there's a load of shaders and transmat effects as well from previous seasons. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And then some consumables. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the video. October 27th up until November 3rd. Can you believe it? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week in Destiny 2 and to get all the things that you're grinding for. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, smokers a kipper. We'll be back for breakfast.